It is cold outside. In fact, right now,
road who are listening to the show,
yeah.
and they're having a struggle because it's icy all over the place.
It is.
And I hope we entertain them. And you guys who have the CB sets, and you also listen to KOA for entertainment, or maybe you listen to the CB sets and you get information from us. I don't know how you do it. But please tell your fellow men about it. It's 85 on the dial. And if you're in the Denver area, you get us on TV. If you're driving your truck and you're watching us on TV, lots of luck, Charlie. There's a great new country song. It's my favorite country song. It's called I'm So Miserable Without You, It's Almost Like Having You Around. We're not going to play it, but it's just my favorite song. It's Madalyn Murray O'Hair we've got on the thing right now, and on your radio and on your television. It's an interesting program, isn't it, folks? It does get you riled up, and you do get hot. And you can dial us at 861-TALK. And Steve Sidorik, who is a Reverend Methodist, well, you're with the Council of Churches, and that's non-sectarian, right?
Right. It's 10 Protestant denominations plus the Roman Catholic Church.
That's a sectarian. It's Christian, as opposed to Jew, as opposed to Muslim, as opposed to Hindu, as opposed.
Is there a society that melts everybody together?
Is what?
That melts the Christians with the Jew, with the...
Well, she's ready to melt everybody together. She's a lumper.
What?
Yeah, everything gets lumped together.
No,
well,
she's an atheist, Steve.
If this is your only defense, you may as well not make it.
No. Aristotle once said, you know, a philosophy consists of the art in drawing distinctions, and whenever you try to draw a distinction with you, you will not let it...
Let's talk about Aristotle a little bit, because he was also crazy, wasn't he?
Well,
what did he have to say about women? What did he have to say about slavery? What did he have to say about homosexuality? How dare you bring him up? We're in the 1980s.
Madalyn,
and we're way past
well, you were
Aristotle.
talking about Ra in Egypt. I thought I could at least go to Aristotle.
According to you, everybody's crazy. I haven't heard one positive thing from you.
Well, actually, I feel that the religious community is operating in fairy tale land, and I quite frequently, someone will say, oh, you must believe in something.
All right, wait. All right, wait just 1 second. In today's paper, today's Rocky Mountain News on the front page, there was a black man in bed. Cover story, photo of him in bed. He had an accident. I can't explain what happened except he was shot by a policewoman. I don't know the whole story on it. I don't want to take a side with it. But he is paralyzed. And he said if it were not for his Bible and the comfort he received from that, he would not be able to go on. Now,
you know,
where does that come from?
Well, let me ask you a question back, because I see this constantly. There's an airplane crash. 214 people die. One person is saved. And that one person says, if it hadn't been for God, I wouldn't have been saved.
The comfort that this man received.
The comfort that he receives. I'm not sure at all that he gets any comfort out of that. And I've often wondered what this comfort factor is, that there's an ultimate deception. And that ultimate deception is supposed to be comfortable to a person. For instance, if my husband had lied to me our entire marriage life, do you think that I would be comfortable if I found out that this was a lie? Of course I wouldn't have been comfortable. If this man is clutching at straws, or if he needs a crutch, this only shows his psychological deficiency, that's all.
But there's a certain comfort that we get out of religion.
Is there?
Yes, there is.
Show it to me, because I have never seen any of this comfort, and I don't know of any other persons who have seen the comfort. What they have is fear. What is going to happen to me when I die? And incidentally, the most despicable reason for decent kind of action is the lollipop in the sky. Well, I'm not going to murder anybody, because if I did, I'd burn in hell. How much better if you don't murder anybody because you have reverence for life?
Steve?
Well, you know, you brought up, you resurrected the old argument about religion being merely a crutch. My question is what makes you think you're not limping?
I know that I'm not limping because I can see what goes on with the religious community, and I can see the lies that you sell for the income that you have. And I can see your power trips, etc. I also see how you intervene actively in other persons' lives. And I think that the only persons who have any right to intervene in anybody's life are those persons who are asked to help, such as a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, those persons who are skilled in helping. You're skilled in deceit. You're not skilled in helping.
How do you know what I'm skilled in? You don't even know me.
It doesn't matter. I know the generic Christian. You wouldn't have, as I again say, this bizarre costume on if you didn't represent a set of ideas. Let's for instance, talk about Christian salvation.
Your purported expertise,
about it.
Your purported expertise theologically, ethically, is
talk about the Christian plan of salvation. Let's lay it all on the line.
Oh, I want to talk
Tell me about the Christian. Tell these people how they can win life after death.
I want to talk about the hostility you harbor.
No, well, please, you have a chance here to really lay it on the line and convince a hardcore atheist that I should take the route of pleading to God, going outside of myself, groveling in dependency.
Wait, one step at a time. You don't have to do that all at once.
Oh.
Was Ayn Rand an atheist?
Ayn Rand was a good atheist. She's one of the finest.
Did she change her mind on her deathbed?
She isn't dead yet. Not Ayn Rand. You're thinking of somebody else. Incidentally, that's another thing that happens. We constantly must refute stories of what happened to an atheist when the atheist dies. We have had stories about Thomas Paine, about our most famous atheist, Robert G. Ingersoll, about the famous atheists, Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Margaret Sanger, Clarence Darrow, Thomas Alva Edison. We all have death stories about what happened to an atheist on their deathbed. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The atheists know that this is the end.
In my own family, I've had that happen. I've had people who did not believe in God and at the last minute have changed their minds on their deathbed.
Well, then they never did not believe in God.
Let's take a call here. All right, Denver, you're on the air on KOA with Joey Reynolds.
Yes, I have a question for both of the people on the show tonight. I have a question for Madalyn. Why is it that you feel that you must step on everybody else's questions and insult people about their clothing or anything else? To me, that feels like it is a very prejudiced thing to do.
It's very important.
Wait a minute, you're walking on me.
Symbols are very, very important. Symbols are so important that it's incredible. Why would any person hang around their neck a symbol of death, of a cross on which a person allegedly died with the most agonizing kind of death, so the story goes, that the Roman Empire could conceive of? Why would anybody deliberately carry a symbol of death around their neck? This is important. It's important to you. It's important to me. Why would anybody deliberately dress in black, or why would anybody deliberately set themselves apart by their mode of dressing? Is this because they wouldn't be set apart if they didn't have that mode of dressing? So we go immediately to what goes with this kind of thought set, that these accoutrements to it are necessary. Don't knock it. Symbolism is important.
Okay, but also there are clergymen who do not wear the black clothes and the collars and everything else. Another question is, neither one of you are really pointing out why you're there, because you are stepping all over the other man's questions, and the Reverend does not stand up and say, hey, will you please be quiet and get his point across? I think you're both at fault here.
That's probably my fault, because I'm not handling...
I think the Reverend should stand up for his beliefs just as strong as you are standing up for yours.
Well, he has a different, he has a very different personality than Madalyn.
No.
What's going on here.
There's something else. Something else is going on here, and that is this. If you turn on television in Denver, where your call is coming from, any time of the day or night, or you turn on radio, you can get a religious personality. And a leading American atheist gets up to Denver, say, for one time every year. And when they appear on a television program, the religious community immediately must have equal time. You heard earlier in the program that they are given free airtime every Sunday in Denver. The atheists are not given free time every Sunday in Denver. So that here you have an opportunity for an atheist to say something and say it and lay down the premises upon which that atheist stands. And you have an intrusion of a religious character on the program.
I'm going to intrude right now because we have to take a break again. But I told you everything has opposites, right? There's an atheist, which is against God, and there's someone over there who's for God.
All right, Sunday morning then, KOA will put an atheist on.
Get our call letters right.
Have they ever asked for it?
Do they ever ask for it?
Have they ever asked for time?
You mean the station or viewers?
No, the chapter here in Denver.
The American Atheist Denver.
I'd be curious if they ever have taken that initiative.
Yes, they have.
You have that documented?
Yes, I do.
Okay. We're going to take a break. I'd like to see the letter. 861-TALK. It's a valid question. 861-TALK. Get on the air with us all night till 5 o'clock in the morning. Not this argument. Another one later.
Hello.
Reverend Stephen Sidark is here, ladies and gentlemen. and Madalyn O'Hair. And I'm Joey Reynolds, and we're having a discussion this morning that's going all over the place. 861-TALK, but that's the way it is, you know, when we have an open forum, and that's what we are having. It's a point of view. Mrs. O'Hair does have a point of view, and I read her bio this morning, and when I first heard the word atheist, I got turned off, because I don't like that word. I don't
Why?
I don't know, because it's a negative word.
It is not a negative word. It means free from theism. Just like independent is not a negative word, it means free from dependency.
I don't
It
like
all
the word
depends on what you
conservatism
put in
either.
it.
Conservatism is another word. There's certain words that are, you talk about symbols. Images and symbols are important,
That's right.
you're right. And certain
And
images...
the religious community has worked long and hard to put a very negative aspect on atheism.
Well, that part Steve's going to talk about right now.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, what were you going to say?
Earlier on, you accused Christians, and I think you said by extension the Christian church, of being anti-human. And you yourself mentioned the matter of nuclear war and Reagan. I'm just curious why we're not hearing loud and clear from all the chapters of American atheists about
They're not
freezing
giving
the
time
arms
on television.
race, freezing the arms race, reversing the arms race.
If they
See
were
what
given
parity looks
time
like.
on Sunday morning on
my
television,
question?
they would say this.
I would like to hear you hold forth on why nuclear war is
Wait a minute.
wrong, evil, immoral. What categories can you even say to describe the possession of nuclear?
Self-destructive.
It's self-destructive.
Yeah. We have with us tonight the chapter director of the Denver American Atheist group, and I would like for him to give me the American Atheist magazine, if he will, sometime during the next commercial, because we will show you. We put out an American Atheist magazine every month. One of the themes that we stress in this is the need to have complete and immediate disarmament of all countries yesterday, and the absolute destruction of all nuclear devices, and a negotiation between all nations at every level, and a complete outlawing of war. And we have been saying that for 23 years, and I haven't heard that from the Methodist Church for 23 years.
Well, it's been in there all along.
Oh, sure it has. That's why I heard it.
On what grounds?
Let me
Simply
ask
because
you,
it,
for
let me-
instance,
no, I have
if
the
the,
floor.
if the
Let him make
Pope...
his
Just
comment.
because,
Let him make his comment.
just because it's self-destructive nuclear war, therefore it needs to be outlawed. You know, any war.
Please, life is important, haven't you understood?
Yeah, but
Life is important. Now, you put your emphasis on death and life after death.
See,
But we put our emphasis on life. We want to keep on living now.
seems like you're saying we don't want to die
We
in a
don't
nuclear
want
war.
to experience death. Thank you very
Right,
much.
that's what I
You
just
can
said.
have the death.
We don't want to die in nuclear war, therefore we better
Well, what do you
outlaw it.
care? You're going to live again.
Well, my question is, what about the broader implications, moral or whatever category you would use, on
What can
the issue?
be any better than the preservation of life? Nothing else is needed.
But aren't there
Morality,
subtleties to the moral argument?
Oh, my God, young man. Surely you're not positing that there must be a moral persuasion of Reagan to stop the war. Just the fact that it is detrimental to life is enough. You don't need anything any more than that. But once again, we get back.
Why did you just say, why did you just now say, oh my God?
Because it hacks the Christians. I use it all the time.
Hold on, let's take a caller. Wait a minute. Colorado Springs, you're on the air on KOA.
Okay.
Welcome to Hack a Christian.
Okay. First, I'd like to ask Miss O'Hair to define the word atheism.
An atheist is simply a person who is free from theism. Only that and nothing more. Absolutely nothing more.
Okay. Earlier in the program, I heard you say that an atheist has no belief in anything.
No belief systems.
Okay. Well, then that's just totally ironic, because if you don't believe in any system, you're believing that you don't believe in any system. So you
Now, would you go and look up in the dictionary the word belief? And you will see that it is an unfounded proposition not supported by reason or arguments or even by observation. A belief is something that you accept on faith. And we don't accept anything at any level on faith.
That's your definition. You see.
Oh, come on, it's
like the student in England at Oxford or Cambridge, A.J. Ayer was holding forth on the logical positivism, and he said there is no such thing as a metaphysical statement. And one of the bright young lads in Oxford or Cambridge stood up and said, "Well, Mr. Ayer, that in and of itself is a metaphysical statement."
Well, naturally, a bright young lad.
Let him answer.
But O'Hair is probably one of the finest minds in the world.
This guy here is a very quiet guy.
He's polite. He's not quiet.
Okay.
He's polite.
He's easygoing. Let him say something, okay? Just for a minute.
He doesn't have anything to say. It's the same old thing that they've been saying for 1,600 years.
Oh, no, I think we have a lot of things to say, but we get all this free time, so I don't want to say
We got 1 minute, Steve.
I want to hear the positive,
We got 1 minute
the positive program.
Well, let me show you. This is the American Atheist magazine.
I'll hold it up.
And every single issue, we have at least 2 pages in here, at least 2 pages, having to do with nuclear disarmament, nuclear war. In this one, we have Mark Twain, who's an atheist, and the very famous war prayer that Mark Twain put out. And month after month, we reach out to the fact that dead atheists are dead atheists, and there is no life after death. Therefore, it's important for all people to stay alive and to experience life.
Do you see the interrelationships of the arms race as it's already killing the poor? I mean, is that a moral subtlety at all?
A moral subtlety in the poor, you would posit as that. I don't see you out in the slums helping them.
How do you know what I do?
Because I know the Methodist Church. Incidentally, one of the things that I put out was a book titled Freedom Under Siege, in which I looked at the Methodist Church and where you put your money. Let me tell you about the Methodist Church, because I know about you. Up until the time that Dow Chemical Company stopped producing napalm, the Methodist Church had more stock in Dow Chemical Company than any other company. Any other one. You were buying that so that napalm could be produced to dump onto Vietnam. Then just when Dow quit manufacturing napalm, the Methodist Church came out with a pronouncement from its central whatever, and said, we are herewith selling all of our stock in Dow because they were producing napalm. You talk about hypocrites.
Of course,
the Methodist Church has a cap on it that will never get off.
Of course, we can't believe that unless we see that and have it documented right in front of us.
I've got it
because you can say that. Do you have it right here?
No, but I have my book, Freedom Under Siege. I'm willing to send you a copy.
Well, how do we know that
you got 2 minutes to produce it, because we're going to take a break. It's 7 minutes until 2 o'clock in the morning on Denver's KOA and KOA TV Channel 4. Denver time, of course. Our phone number is 861-TALK with Madalyn Murray O'Hair and Steve Sidorik. I always forget Steve's name. Getting better at names, though, folks. Steve Sidorik is with the Council of Churches in Colorado. And we'll be right back in just a moment. We're going to take a break now. Well, we're on a real time schedule tonight because I want to get all the calls on, and there's tons of people calling from all over the place at 303-861-TALK. This is our 3rd night on the air, and it's, I guess tonight we invited the fireworks. Madalyn Murray O'Hair, we should have had you the first night.
Sure, me too.
Opening night would have been great, and Stephen, of course, Stephen Sidorik, who is the Reverend Stephen Sidorik. He is the with the Council of Churches in Colorado. What does that mean? It means you're the director.
Yes.
Do they have an election, or?
Well, job search and all that business. It's an organization that tries to deal with principally social issues confronting the state of Colorado and the church in Colorado.
Is this one of them?
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't give it that much billing.
Don't you feel that social issues should be dealt with from a secular perspective, and that aid to all mankind for social issues should come from qualified persons and not from sectarian denominational outreach?
You don't know anybody's credentials if you don't know the person. You don't know me, so I wouldn't be so presumptuous as you seem to be time after time about
I'm not talking
knowing
about
what
that.
kind of credentials I have.
One of the things that you do is not answer a question. For instance, you still haven't answered why you call the Bible sacred, but I'll pose this question to you again. If persons need psychiatric help, if they need health care, if they need hospital, if they need marriage counseling, why shouldn't that come from professionally trained psychiatrists, psychologists, and counselors rather than from sectarian organizations? Why are you intermeddling into a secular arena? Because in your intermeddling, I am certain that you take federal aid.
Intermeddling, if we're meddling, we're doing the same thing all the others are. And people usually seek us out on that.
So if everybody meddles, it's all right.
And we are, in fact, professionally trained counselors.
Sure, for what? Methodism? Let me ask you, how much of your money comes from federal grants?
Do you know how many so-called secular counselors?
How much money comes from federal grants?
I don't know.
For your secular
You got the budget right here, don't you?
I have a lot of the budget.
How many secular counselors are also Christian and in select circumstances injects that idea into their counseling
sessions?
sessions?
Well, this is one of the things that the American Association of Social Workers and the American Association of Psychiatric Social Workers attempts to see that their people do not do, and the American Association of Psychiatrists. And
so they dictate what a person can believe or not believe, and
no,
when they
but
can
what
use
they
that.
do say is that the person should not intrude religion into their professionalism, and I think that most doctors do that. I think that by and large, the doctors of the community, the school teachers, the lawyers, etc., do not attempt to intrude their religious opinions into the dealings that they have with their clients.
Madalyn, when you first lost your husband,
Yeah.
did you feel...
I didn't, quote, lose my husband. He died.
When he died,
Yeah.
did you feel a separation? Did you feel a loss?
Of course not. He died from cancer over a 2-year period. We were quite prepared to have him die. He remained an atheist from the very beginning to the very bitter end. And when he died as an atheist, knowing that that was the end, the termination of that particular life organism.
Isn't that very cold? Just,
What am I supposed to do? Weep and beat my breast because my husband's dead? He's dead. That was not going to help him.
hold on a second.
What I have to do is keep on going living with my life.
Take another break. 861-TALK. Hate all these breaks, but they're necessary. 861-TALK, all night live. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about Madalyn Murray O'Hair's magazine called The American Atheist, which is this magazine, and it came in her bio today. Well, it didn't come today. I was reading it today. And I was reading this magazine, and over and above the fact that I'm not an atheist, for instance, I mean, this is going to look like a television commercial. Look at this magazine. Well, this is what I'm not. But I have a feeling that some of the things in here caught my eye, and I have a feeling that you might enjoy the political slant. Let me just say that it's not a left-handed slam. I feel that, and I wanted to say it on the air.
Incidentally, we will be showing the address on the screen for both the Denver chapter and the American Atheist National Center. And anyone who wants a free sample copy of the magazine, I'll give it to them if they say they've seen me on the Joey Show.
You don't have any baptisms, do you?
No, we don't have baptisms. We don't have anything, and we do.
Do you charge any money to join?
Yeah, we have a fee for membership.
And people who really believe in this probably support you quietly. And
Yes,
I'm
they
saying
do.
that because I know you had a lot of persecution in Maryland.
Well, we have a great number of what we call closet atheists, and one of the things that we are attempting to do is have atheists come out of the closet because they would be comfortable.
Well, this doesn't mean that somebody who is not zealous about God is an atheist.
Oh, no, nothing like that. But for instance, taking a statistical study, never in the history of America have any of the churches been able to get even 50% of the people into churches. So that 50% of the people are unchurched, and I would never say that those 50% that do not go to church or have never gone to church are atheists, because they are not. Quite frequently, an atheist will go to church because of religious or social reasons, or because they feel that their children must be seen leaving the house on Sunday morning, since everybody else in the community is going. So that quite frequently, the atheists or agnostics will be in the churches. The sociological departments of most of the major universities, in particular the University of California, say that 24 to 26% of the population is either agnostic or atheist.
What's agnostic?
A gutless atheist.
Shouldn't I ask?
An in-closet atheist.
I notice this is a real switch, because now you're getting your equal time, and Steve doesn't want any. Steve Sidoric with the Council of Churches has no phone numbers. He has nothing.
Well,
He
he's
wants
in the
me
phone
this
book.
We
morning.
have a phone number, 832-9309 in Denver,
What's that?
the Colorado Council of Churches.
What would
He's
someone,
also in the phone book.
why would someone call the Council of Churches?
Oh, for all kinds of assistance that we provide. People, much like the Holy Ghost Catholic Church, we can refer people on a cold night to where they could go. And
They're
incidentally,
probably
I
using
guess
federal funds,
this
too.
gentleman's house is open, he said, and if he would be willing to give his address on the air...
Oh, no, I wouldn't permit that. I would not permit an atheist to give their address in the air.
Well, that's probably true, but he told me his house was open if people were, the street people needed a place to find warmth and
Well,
and food
if
and
they do, they
shelter.
can dial an atheist, which is 692-9395. We do have a dial an atheist in Denver, area code 303-692-9395. And we never... See, this is the difference. You can give the address of your home. You can give the address of your business.
Certain
we
circumstances.
Can't. We can't, because we know that the Christians will break windows, slash tires, start hate mail, start their campaigns on the telephone.
Wait a minute.
We know that the Christians will
That's
do
not
this.
Christian belief.
It is. It's
Christians
intolerance.
don't do those things.
Yes, they do.
Bad Christians do those things, and they're not really Christians.
Good Christians. No, it's the good Christians.
That's not a
I would
Christian
like
move.
to ask a question.
Sure.
If somebody's out there and undecided or wavering, what is in your pitch, in your belief?
I don't have a pitch. That's you. Speak for yourself.
What is going to commend your lifestyle to an individual who's sitting on the fence and wondering whether to believe or not to believe?
We don't do that. We do not proselytize. We do not do anything. We feel that anybody who reads the Bible and seriously studies church history will come to atheism themselves. They don't need a hand to lead them, or they don't need a proselytizer to teach them. After they come to that position, we ask them to get in touch with us because we have a whole series of church-state separation legal cases which we are fighting, which will put the churches where they belong on a self-support basis rather than the churches sucking off the tax tit.
I didn't ask you, you know, what if you proselytize or not. I asked you what commends to another individual an atheistic lifestyle.
Well, the atheistic lifestyle is a lifestyle of independence, not dependence. It's a lifestyle of freedom, not bondage. It is a lifestyle without sin, without guilt, without fear. It's a lifestyle where we can, for instance, not be murderers simply because we understand the value of life instead of not being murderers because we would be damned in hell if we were murderers. So it's an entirely different thing.
Well, aside from your last comment, I would think you're describing my lifestyle, too.
No, no way.
Well, you
pray?
say that. Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you pray? What do you pray for?
That's none of your business,
Why
actually.
would you nag God? Don't you think that God has his ideas for you?
At this point, I'm praying that you guys. I'm praying that you guys wrap it up for a minute because you got to take a commercial. It's 2:15. I'll pray for both of you. 861-TALK. 861-TALK. We'll be right back on All Night Live, ladies and gentlemen.